Fishy, fishy, fishy!
What's going on, fishy friends? Alright, the day has come. I have some horrific news about one of my discus tanks. This is the first time I have ever lost a discus. I'm not sure what happened, but I found one of the discus down here in this tank dead just now. I'm really not sure what's going on. One of the other discus does not look good. Well, two more in this tank do not look good, and for the life of me, I'm not sure what might have happened. I had not done a water change yesterday, which is unlike me. Usually on these discus tanks, I do daily 50% water changes. I do skip a day here and there, not the end of the world for the most part, so one day without doing a water change should not have been the demise of a fish in this tank. I don't know. The only other thing that's even out of the ordinary with this tank is my automatic feeder. Seems to be, maybe it's dumping more often than I had even set it for. Maybe there's some really broken up flake food in there, but it's been dumping a lot of extra food, so the tank has been relatively dirty, but again, it shouldn't be enough to kill a fish in one day. So I'm not sure what the deal is, but needless to say, I'm not very happy. I don't know if you can even see back there behind the flower pot. One of my red Turks is kind of listing to the side. There's that real small stunted runt right there. But the two fish that are back there behind the filter, one of them seems to have an odd spot on the side of his body, and the other one is kind of listing to the side. So, I don't have the highest hopes right now for what's going on with this tank. I'm very busy doing things around my house right now, so I don't have too much time to really figure out what's going on. So for the time being, I'm just doing a real big water change, filling the tank bank up right now. I just pulled about 90% of the water out. Still pretty dirty, actually. I didn't get to really focus on the tank and use the gravel vac and really pick every little piece of everything up off the bottom. But a big 90% water change should be somewhat beneficial. I don't know if you can see on that guy there on the side of his body, he's kind of got a weird spot. That's sort of, it's not really showing up on the camera. That spot was kind of on the dead fish that I pulled out of here. I've honestly never seen anything like it. It almost looks like damage that you might expect to see on a pair of mating discus when they are rearing fry, and when the fry are eating off the parent slime coat. So I don't know what to think. There's one of my original red Turks, and obviously something's going on with him. Discus aren't supposed to swim like that. His coloration looks okay, but his movement does not. That's the other one I'm not too thrilled with, I think, right now. If it would turn around, maybe that spot's on the other side of the body. I don't know. I just don't know what to think here. So anyway, we'll see if we can do some disaster control. Hopefully avoid anyone else from dying. Since I can't really confirm what might be wrong with the fish, I'm not going to go ahead and start dosing or anything like that with any medications. So, fingers crossed, we'll hope for the best and see what we can do. Alright guys, that's it. Alright guys, so here we are a little bit later, and no more deaths. After I had shot that last video where I had found the one dead discus, I came to realize that my temperature was down to about 76 degrees or so. I honestly don't necessarily check my thermometers every single day, and stupidly assume that my temperatures are where they need to be. Discus like tanks a little bit warmer, so I am attributing that death just to the lower temperature. As you can see, I got a second heater in there right now. I have not had time to actually pull out that first Eheim Jaeger. Eheim Jaeger? Is that what they're called? Maybe that's what they used to be called? EBOs? I don't know. Supposedly a reputable heater. I've got quite a few of them in various different tanks. I haven't pulled it out to check to see if it's completely dead or if it just wasn't up to the task of keeping the tank warm enough. So I don't know what's going on. There is still some issues going on here. I think you can sort of see what almost looks like a giant blister on the side of that fish. I had noticed something similar in the fish that had died. After it was dead, unfortunately, I noticed it. but I'm not sure if that's something that was affecting it while it was alive. I don't know if I should be concerned about that fish. This guy suddenly is starting to look stunted. This is not that tiny little stunted guy in this tank. But I don't love the shape of him all of a sudden. I don't know. I'm less than pleased with most of the discus in this tank. The two I had purchased from a breeder, those two larger red Turks down there, I think are the better looking at all the fish in this particular tank, but they're not perfect either. My other discus are much nicer, I think. But I am definitely not happy after losing a discus. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever lost one. I've been keeping fish for quite a long time. I've only been keeping discus for, I don't know, I guess 18 months or so now. So I guess that's not so bad. I mean, unfortunately, losing fish is sometimes a part of this hobby. And losing the bigger, expensive fish, well, downright sucks. But it's my own fault for not checking the temp. Anybody who has been involved in this hobby for a while knows that aquarium heaters are definitely not the most reliable things in the world. There are ways to prevent it, and I have the tools I need to do that. One of those ways is by using a temperature controller, which I do utilize on this tank here. That was an eBay temperature controller. That one was pretty much plug and play, but just reads the Celsius. And basically what you do is you keep your heater set warmer than what you want the tank temperature at, and you set a particular temperature on this at which the heater will turn off and back on. So that actually cuts the power to the heater rather than allowing the heater's internal controller to actually work. Somewhere over here is a box full of other temperature controllers that I purchased that need to be wired up. I got around to wiring up one of them and testing them, and just never got around to finishing them. So that's what happened there, and that's that, and we'll be back.